wonderful atmosphere as the national anthems of Mexico and Colombia have been played and lustily sung by this capacity crowd. And no matter how the final finishes in the next couple of hours here in Bogota, this 40th staging of the Copa America, I think, is always going to be remembered as a triumph in adversity for the host nation, Colombia. Because it really is remarkable to think that only a month ago the whole tournament was in danger of being scrapped or switched to a different venue. The Colombians fought hard for the right to stage the competition in their country, and their persistence has been rewarded. In fact, despite all the fears of security problems, there's been no trouble off the field, and despite the fears of a second-rate tournament football-wise, we've seen some excellent games over the last 18 days. Brazil, well, they proved to be mere mortals after all. They've fallen by the wayside. Uruguay, they may have launched another era of young stars, but they've gone officially fourth. The emergence of Costa Rica and Honduras, winning the third-place playoff on penalties, a pointer to the future in their cases, perhaps. Mexico have overcome the problems that they had coming into these championships in spectacular style, and Colombia, of course, well, really, Jerry Armstrong, they have been a revelation.
Well, they have, and a lot of new names to take in. I think the fact, well, one, that the games actually went ahead, as you said, Alan, was fantastic. As you see, the parachute landing, but they have not conceded a goal. I mean, that is remarkable. And also we've got Victor Arrestibal, who's on the verge of something great here. 6 goals is fantastic. If he can score, if he can do better than that, I think Pelé was the last person some 40 years ago who scored 8 goals, and I'm sure he's looking at these targets. I think obviously they'll want to win the game first, and Mexico will make a difference, but it's just there for them. I feel home advantage, the way things have went. Their confidence has got to be sky high, and they must be very, very red hot favourites.
The 25 games in Copa America have produced 59 goals. We've had over 100 yellow cards, and an unwanted competition record of 22 players have been dismissed. And a journey that started in the north of Colombia with the opening game in the Caribbean port of Barranquilla has taken in 6 different cities dotted throughout the nation along the way before leading us today to the capital. And whatever the result, we must have a brand new name on the world's oldest international football trophy. Both Colombia and Mexico have been Copa America finalists before, but they've never been champions. The Colombian nation will be expecting a home victory tonight, but Jerry, they don't have a good record against Mexico. They've beaten them just twice in 19 previous meetings.
Well, I think psychologically that's the only thing that's gone against them. The fact they're at home, the fact that they've not conceded a goal, the fact that they've got so much confidence and belief in themselves at the moment. I think they can change the record books. Or maybe we'll see at the end of the competition that Mexico will have won their first Copa America. It's a fantastic occasion, and certainly it's going to be interesting over the next 90 minutes.
Certainly Colombia odds-on favourites. They go into this final with a proud record of 5 wins out of 5, 10 goals scored, not a single goal conceded. They have the tournament's top scorer in Victor Arrestibal, a settled lineup free from injuries and suspensions and brimming with confidence. But Mexico, on the other hand, well, they qualified from the first phase despite only scoring 1 goal in 3 games, and they have 3 important players missing through suspension. Nicolas Leos, the president of CONMEBOL, the South American Football Federation, has just symbolically got the final officially underway. And in a moment, the real stuff will begin. Colombia's only previous appearance in the final, 1975, when they lost against Peru. Mexico were beaten finalists in 1993, losing to Argentina. And the 2 countries last met earlier this year in a friendly played in neutral Miami in the United States. Colombia winning 3-2. This is only the 3rd time that they've played each other in the Copa America, and the record stands at 1 win each. Is this to be Colombia's moment of destiny, I wonder?
Could it be 3rd time lucky?
Both these countries currently struggling in their World Cup qualifying campaigns, although they've still got a few games to go, and they both face crucial internationals in the next couple of weeks. Colombia have an unchanged lineup from the team that beat Honduras in the semi-final, but Mexico have been forced to make 4 changes from their 11 that beat Uruguay. 3 suspended: defender Vidrio, the veteran midfielder Garcia Aspe, and striker De Nigris, and another central defender, Marquez, is injured. The man in charge tonight, one of the more controversial officials on the South American continent, Ubaldo Aquino from Paraguay. And we're just about ready to go. It's the first final since 1987 that hasn't included the superpowers of South American football, Brazil or Argentina. But it matters not to the 45,000 people packed in this stadium, and millions more, of course, watching throughout the Colombian nation. A hot and sunny day, shadow covering half the pitch. Colombia in the yellow and blue, Mexico in their familiar green. And that'll be the opening free kick of the game to the underdogs, Mexico.
Doesn't look like they're going to sit back, even though the underdogs are taking the game to Colombia. They're looking to be the first team to break this Colombian defence, and they're starting off in the opening seconds with a free kick.
Little fella Juan Pablo Rodriguez will take it. He takes most of their set pieces. One of 3 players called Rodriguez in the Mexican lineup. They also have 2 players who share the surname Morales. And the parachute is got to go. Bit easier, I suppose, to come in on a parachute than to get away. I don't think that's ever happened before in a major international final, and they're still coming in. Parachute stop play.
I think that was a late flight from Colombia just arriving.
Well, it could have been someone a little more inventive than that, because tickets have been going for about $200 US on the black market. So I suppose if you couldn't afford that, dropping in from the skies is the next best bet. They're still not ready. This is probably something that can only happen in South America. Finally, Rodriguez will take the free kick. No, another delay. The referee isn't happy, and this is not what the players wanted. They were absolutely wound up to this anyway. Just wanted to get into the game and get on with it. The referee still is distracted by something.
He's not happy with a little bit of argy-bargy going on in the penalty area. Just trying to sort it out now.
So we've got stoppage time almost before we've kicked off. Now the free kick comes in, and it wasn't a very good one. The delay cost him dearly. Torrado will pump it long again. Much too long, an easy take for Oscar Cordoba, the goalkeeper of Colombia. And as you can see, this side of the pitch is almost in darkness, such is the height of the stand and the shadow that it's casting on this very hot day here in the capital and Colombia's biggest city, Bogota, a city of some 6 million inhabitants. And I would think just about every one of them is involved in one way or another in watching this final. And a good, promising early attack. Aristizabal with the confidence to try a shot from that range, and why not when you've already scored 6 goals in the tournament?
Well, a super little counter-attack movement, good exchange, Ramirez, and eventually Aristizabal had the shot. I think he was being a little bit adventurous, as you said, Alan, because it was a long way out.
Perez, the Mexican goalkeeper, got good distance on his kick. And then the clearance by Mario Yepes, who's played in every game in the tournament for Colombia. They've had a very settled side. In fact, they've got 5 ever presence. And that's particularly so in defence. Remember, they haven't conceded a single goal in the competition. An incredible record. Alberto Rodriguez with the cross tests that Colombian defence, and Ivan Cordoba got it away. Here is Rodriguez again. And now Torrado. And hesitation, but an offside flag in the end gets Colombia out of their embarrassment.
A little bit tight there. Colombian defense just trying to move up, but again, it looks as if Mexico's a team with a lot of confidence. They're knocking the ball around really well. They've settled down in the opening 4 minutes better than Colombia. Case of nerves, maybe?
Yes, the expectation of a nation is bound to weigh heavily on the shoulders of this basically young and fairly inexperienced Colombian team. But here they go again, and that's a lovely return ball. What a chance for the opening goal! And it struck the post, and the very man you would have put money on to score has failed to do so.
Well, a lovely 1-2 again, and Arizabal went to the near post. He placed it, and I think he was fooled the goalkeeper, but he should have struck it with a little bit more venom than that. Hit the post, no luck. They've got a corner kick though, Alan.
Incredible opening here. And again, Hernandez looking dangerous, but that is probably a contender for worst shot of the tournament.
It certainly was, but again, I feel that if they scored the opening goal in the first 5 minutes, everything would have went in their favour. Their confidence would have been even higher than it already is. And Giovanni Hernandez will want to forget that last shot.
Incidentally, whatever happens, Colombia must win a couple of the prizes at stake. They are untouchable in terms of the fair play trophy, and of course in Arizabal they will have the competition's leading goal scorer. Certainly Mexico weren't going to rival them in the fair play trophy. They've got the worst record of any of the teams competing here, and they've had 14 yellow cards, which is twice as many as Colombia have had. And also they've had 3 players sent off. The referee is getting a grip early on, mindful, no doubt, of Mexico's poor record in that respect.
Well, Rodriguez and Rodriguez were all over them in a flash. Juan Rodriguez and Johan Rodriguez. And I just feel every time the ball's pumped forward, you can see how enthusiastic the Mexicans are chasing everything.
Incredible to think that Mexico came here off the back, I think it was of 6 straight defeats, and they'd only had 2 wins in their 13 internationals throughout the year. They're struggling in the World Cup qualifiers. We remember them getting beaten easily by England at Derby's Pride Park towards the end of last season, but they've absolutely turned that around while they've been over here.
Well, I saw them play against USA and they were terrible. Then after that against Costa Rica, also very poor in that game. And I don't know where the form's come from. Somehow they've got themselves a little bit of confidence. It's the old scenario when Denmark got called up for the European Championships and went on and won it.
Here's Hernandez again, seeing a lot of the ball early on. Gonzalez coming in from his patrol down the right touchline. Goya, who scored a goal in the semi-final, and indeed scored a goal against Mexico the last time the teams met in Miami. Again, Colombia won 3-2 for what, as I mentioned, is only their 2nd victory over Mexico in 19 internationals. They are really, in that respect, a bit of a bogey team, the Mexicans, to the hosts here.
Let's do possession, Alan, from the Mexicans. Arellano and certainly Rodriguez involved on this right-hand side.
Yeah, if you say Rodriguez, you've got a fair chance of being
one of the 3. Well, it's Alberto pushing down the right, the number 2.
Lopez with the clearance, and that deflects behind for a Colombian goal kick. Wonderful atmosphere here. Tickets extremely hard to obtain. A poor nation, of course, and not too many people would have been willing to pay the black market price, that's for sure. The Colombians can be proud of the championships they've mounted here in such difficult circumstances. All they need now is to go on and make it a perfect finale by winning. Here's Rodriguez, that is Juan Pablo Rodriguez, and it wasn't a bad ball either. Just caught the Colombians napping a little bit, but Lopez did his job against Arellano, who again has got that free roll, difficult to pick up.
Certainly was, came in behind him. His first touch, I think, let him down because the defender was struggling to get there. Ivan Cordova was struggling to get there, and Jesus Arellano just sort of stumbled over the ball.
Easily defended this time by Mexico. Tirado, tough little player in the midfield. Arellano's bundled off the ball, no free kick given. Mexico Mexico with a mainly home-based squad. They've got a very good league competition in Mexico. It attracts many players from throughout the South American continent, and the national team play a lot of games. Although in recent years they've struggled and failed to qualify for the Olympic Games and the World Youth Championships, which are often the foundation stones, if you like, for the senior national team. But this new crop of Mexican players looked very promising indeed. And they've certainly started well here against the hosts. But remember, Colombia should have scored.
Certainly have, keeping the ball, knocking it around well. As I said about Denmark, you know, because they come into the competition late, just like Mexico, and went on and won it, maybe the pressure's been lifted off them, and we see Colombia once again under pressure.
Borghetti closing down the goalkeeper quarterback. But now coming forward on this left-hand side again, Colombia themselves. Hernandez just appealing for someone to make themselves available, and in the end they've got a free kick in a good position out of that. Didn't really look anything on.
Well, Alberto Rodriguez coming in after the referee's blown the free kick for the foul on Murillo, and you can see here he's all over the top of him. He's on top of Mercado, burning down on top of Murillo, and it's definitely a free kick. Is it too far to have a crack at goal? Freddy Grisales is just teeing it up.
Grisales, who scored Colombia's first goal of the entire tournament against Venezuela 18 days ago now. He's taking a run like a fast bowler in a cricket test match here. And either he or Hernandez will hit it. It is Grisales who's going to strike it, and it's a good strike as well, and it produced a good reaction save from Oscar Perez.
Well, it was fairly straight, but it was a lot of power, a lot of venom in the shot from Freddy Grisales. Let's have a look at it again. Curls wickedly, dips at the end, and he can take no chances with that one, Perez.
Yeah, have to be on his toes, literally then, the Mexican goalkeeper. Hernandez with the corner. And good work again by Perez. They've used all three goalkeepers in this competition, Mexico, that Perez appears to be the first choice, and certainly is today. And that's not a bad ball. Borghetti causing problems for the Colombian defence. Rodriguez with the follow-up shot. He didn't really catch it, the young midfield player, though. He was one of those, incidentally, who did play against England in that hammering at Derby, the 21-year-old. He does have a good scoring record at club level. Lovely little reverse ball there from Hernandez. He's looked their best player early on here. Bedoya gets it back to him. And good football by the hosts. Well, the final shot again wasn't good. However, Murillo does well to close down the defender and win a corner. That's good persistent play by Elkin Murillo.
Certainly was. He knew it was a poor shot. Once he hit it, and Mexico regained possession, he went close to the defender down, blocked it, and now he's won them a corner. And I just feel that the crowd they really are demanding an awful lot of their team. Maybe putting just a little bit extra pressure on them as we see Giovanni Hernandez coming across to take this corner kick.
Delivered well again to the edge of the 6-yard box. I think it's Gonzalez who used his invention with the ball on the ground. But no problem for Perez, who's been busy already, and I think there might be an injury here. So he's kicked the ball out of play.
Certainly was. Player dropped after the ball was driven into the near post. I think it was a clash of heads. You can see straight away the Mexicans were appealing. I think it's Ramon Morales. It looks like Ramon Morales. Let's have a look, see. Well, there's the clash of heads, and it might even have been his own player, I think it was. And Corrado's also in there.
And Borghetti was the other part of the sandwich.
It was a triple sandwich, a trio.
Borghetti, who scored in the semi-final against Costa Rica, also got the winning goal against Brazil in the opening match of the tournament for Mexico. And the ball will be duly returned by the Colombians. Colombia, who won Group A in the first phase, 3 wins out of 3 against Venezuela, Ecuador and Chile, then beat Peru in the quarterfinal, Honduras in the semi-final. And if you've only just joined us, I can tell you that Honduras have officially finished third. They beat Uruguay in the third place playoff on penalties. Roberto Rodriguez and also Torrado battling to try and win it back. The referee's given a free kick for the foul on Bedoya.
Certainly is. In saying that, I think Mexico's certainly had the tougher route to the final, having to beat Uruguay, and also the big result obviously was the Brazil game when they unexpectedly beat Brazil 1-0. Maybe that gave them a lift.
Having beat Brazil, they then drew with Paraguay and lost against Peru, but scraped through with only 1 goal scored in their opening 3 games. Grisales with the long ball. Good defending under pressure there. Big favourite with the Colombian fans. Grisales, exciting sort of player who's always likely to have a shot from long distance. Corner a little too well hit. But they're fighting for every ball here, the Colombians, making life very hard for Mexico when they're in possession.
I just thought Ivan Cordoba was held on the ground there. He was appealing for a free kick, but the referee, Aquino, wasn't having any of it.
The Mexicans beating Chile in the quarterfinal, Costa Rica in the semis. They've only conceded 2 goals in their 5 games. They've only scored 5, half of the total number of goals that Colombia have scored, and in fact 1 less than Aristizábal alone has managed in the Copa America.
Absolutely, and Corrado's decided to change his boots as well. Surely you don't make that sort of wrong decision in a final, Alan, and he must have checked his footwear before he came out onto the pitch, and now he's checking it again.
Free kick to Mexico. Swung in towards Borghetti, who's a big and difficult customer, and making life hard for Lopez here. He was helped out by Cordoba. Hernandez has popped up on the right now and almost released Grisales, who goes down under the challenge. Big howl of disapproval from the home fans as Octavio Valdez caught Grisales. Or Murillo, rather.
Well, it was a miscontrol. Murillo wins the ball, and then he, while he's on the ground, you can see a flailing leg from Octavio Valdez here, which is what does the damage. I don't think it warranted a yellow card, but certainly was a free kick.
And another opportunity for Colombia to get the ball in the Mexican penalty box.
I'm going to be impressed if Freddy Grisales hits the target. The angle's tight here. I think it's going to be a cross on it.
Yepes, the number 3, the big central defender, probably the tallest player in the penalty area here. And Grisales stepping away as though he's going to try a shot. No, he fooled us all, but didn't fool the Mexicans. It's all a bit tight here, and if they give the ball away, they could be a man light as Arellano swiftly counter-attacks, but they got that well, Colombia. Only the 5th time Mexico have even been in the Copa America, and they reached the final also in their first attempt in Ecuador 8 years ago, lost against Argentina. They've been medalists of one kind and another in 3 of the previous 4 tournaments. Runners-up in '93, 3rd place in '97, and again in '99.
Certainly have a bit of pedigree in this competition, haven't they? And that's without form coming into it.
Grisales with a clever little ball over the top. Bedoya leads it again. It's an iron playmaker, Hernandez, who started this game impressively. The referee says that had crossed the line, throw in.
I've got to say Javier Aguirre has done really well with the Mexican side. With the forced changes, they still look really well organised, don't they, Alan? They don't look like a side that's been forced to make that many changes. And started very, very well in this opening 19, almost 20 minutes.
Two players sent off in the semi-final. And one of them was Garcia Aspe, their captain and their best known and most experienced player in midfield. And that meant, of course, that he couldn't play here. Neither could Vidrio, the central defender who got himself involved in an amazing scene towards the end of that match. And here's the first yellow card of this match. Can't make a difference to Colombia's victory in the Fair Play League, but it certainly has made a difference to Bedoya, who's got to step very carefully from here on in.
He didn't look that much of a challenge, to be honest. He skipped past him. I think he's made the most of it. Certainly Bedoya didn't make any attempt to make a challenge. He just kept his body in the way. Gerardo Bedoya, the first one to get a yellow card.
Ramon Morales, number 20, with the free kick for Mexico. Well, that could have caused a problem. Ariano's shot, and then the follow-up shot. Boquetti almost got a foot to it in that scramble. It wasn't the best free kick, and I think because it was so unusual, if you like, it caught the Colombians out.
Well, that's definitely a free kick. There's no doubt about that one. A little bit of panic there for the first time in the Colombian defence, Alan, and all the pressure being applied by Mexico.
And the first goal in any match, so important, absolutely crucial in a final of this nature where the host nation are involved. Boquetti trips over the ball and still managed to keep possession. He did well down to bring number 9. But a break possibly for Colombia here. Aristizardo with a layoff. Rosales down the right. It goes back to the leading scorer, who turned cleverly and got his shot in, typically.
Very single-minded. Once the ball was playing in his feet, super little turn from Victor Aristizardo, and he hits a target. That's all we can ask of him.
He's not a youngster, he's 29 now, Victor Hugo Aristizardo. He had a brief spell in Spanish football with Valencia. He's been in and out of the international scene, but he's having an absolute golden tournament here. And never like to see that, as usual. Lopez landing a yellow card, and he's going to get his wish as Torrado becomes the second player caution in the game.
I know what you're saying. Maybe it was a foul, but I don't like to see players encouraging a referee to book a fellow professional.
Well, we've said it before, the easiest way to stamp that out is for the referee to show a real yellow card to the man who produces the imaginary one.
Absolutely. Take a bit of bottle from the referee to do that, and they all have to do it as well, Alan, not just one.
No, you are asking somebody. Lopez and Rosales combining down the right-hand side. Confirmation of the caution for Gerardo Torrado. Valdez has conceded a corner. Colombia in the yellow jerseys, remember, midway through the first half of the Copa America final. It's 0-0. Rosales with the kick, shielding his eyes from the bright sunshine here in Bogota.
That's 2 in a row, Alan. 2 dead ball situations, both far too big, and they're wasting these opportunities.
Carrillo's shot. Oh, that's a foul, is it? No whistle. And then the Colombians furious, claiming there was a penalty. And in the end, the referee didn't whistle for either supposed offence. It's got the crowd going again. And a lovely reverse ball from Hernandez to Bedoya. But he made a mess. I'm sure we'll get the opportunity to look back on that little interesting incident. As Rosales shows the kind of spirit that the home fans want to see in determinedly tracking his man back and winning the ball. And here he goes. Great run. Poor ball at the end of it, but no wonder he was tired. that little effort.
His work rate's unbelievable though, Freddy Grisales. And let's have a look at this again. Arif the foul ball. Well, he runs into the defender. I think Mercado doesn't do an awful lot wrong there. I think the referee's probably just right, but I must say, I've seen them given for a lot less.
I think just before that, the Mexicans felt that they should have had a free kick. Here's Arellano.
That's good play, Alan, from Vargas. Started to apply pressure on Arellano, who you were saying earlier has got the free roll. We're going to see this opportunity again. Was this offside? No. Not when he strikes it here. But that's what they've got to do. They've got to start applying pressure to the Mexicans, not allow them to settle on the ball, and that was good play from Fabian Vargas.
Rio, sloppy ball by him, and then it looks suspiciously like a foul, but the referee happy with it. Lopez. 20 minutes to half-time in the final of the 2001 Copa America. Colombia in the yellow jerseys, Mexico in the green. 0-0. And Arellano in a good position here, but the referee has pulled up the striker Borghetti for a foul. Lopez, and then Ramirez and Gonzalez joining in. Ramirez again, lovely football. And Mexico is going to get a free kick out of that. And the players of both sides none too happy with the official at the moment.
Now, Fabian Vargas did dive in here. You can see, definitely dives in. It's definitely a free kick. It's probably more of a yellow card than the other two, to be fair. And it's right in front of the referee. And certainly, I think the Mexicans were encouraging the referee to book him.
Yes, there's been a lot of that kind of gamesmanship early on here. Arellano for Mexico. Grisales, the man he beat, and then a very fine tackle by Cordoba stopped him in his tracks, but it's been given away to Juan Pablo Rodriguez. And that's not a bad ball either, and there's danger from the other Rodriguez, who couldn't quite pull it back and couldn't quite get his shot off either. And then a foul by Tirado. He's got to be careful. He's on a yellow.
Well, it's still a very open game for me. Super piece of play here. He encourages the challenge from Tirado, as you say. And you're right, he has got a yellow card. Clumsy challenge more than anything else, though, Alan.
Yepes with the free kick. The ball coming out of the sun like that, not quite as straightforward as it might appear. There's Yepes again. Bedoya. Rio's layoff, better this time. Vargas takes it on.
Well, he was in two minds. He was looking to play a 1-2, and suddenly it opened up, and he thought, shall I chip the keeper? And it wasn't a bad idea. The goalkeeper, Oscar Perez, had advanced off his line, but the finish was poor.
Mercado. Shrill whistles when Mexico are in possession from this predominantly Colombian crowd. Now those whistles turn into cheers as Hernandez takes them forward. Lopez. Crowd warning him that Borghetti was going to intercept, and that he did. He didn't heed the warning. Borghetti there again. And not a bad little ball either. Certainly committed plenty forward in this attack. But the cross for Borghetti, not accurate enough. Now Rodriguez. Juan Pablo Rodriguez is chopped down. And another yellow card.
It's a number 6 booked. Well, he made the rash challenge earlier that when he jumped in front of the referee. He was lucky to get away with that, and then he does. That's ridiculous. It's a silly challenge from Fabian Vargas on Juan Pablo Rodriguez. No complaints. I don't think he can have any complaints about that one.
Well, the odds of another red card to add to the 22 we've already had in this tournament are growing now with 3 early yellows and the tension of a final. Morales will take the free kick again. His earlier effort wasn't too clever. Let's see what he does this time. Much better, but why?
Well, he's certainly got a lot of pace on it. But he doesn't hit the target. Over the wall. It's only a couple of feet past. He certainly had the goalkeeper, Oscar Cordoba, scrambling across.
The last time Colombia incidentally finished in the first 4 places in the Copa America was 1995 when they finished 3rd in Uruguay. Mexico. Valdez. Torrado. Arellano. Oh, that's clever. And great ball in. Now, Borghetti was claiming he was being held back there, I think. As, it looks like a substitution early on the way here. Aristizábal, meantime, will keep Colombia coming forward, but the ball just too far ahead of Grisales.
Super piece of play, wasn't it? Individual, little one-on-one situation. Referees noticed the substitute warming up on the sideline, and I think he's about to introduce him into the game. Castillo.
He got injured very early on in the tournament, and that's kept him out. And the side were doing so well in his absence that he couldn't win back his place.
Oh, here's a strange one.
Well, that must be an injury. It has to be, because that is the number 10 of Aristizábal. You don't take off the leading scorer in the competition unless he's got a problem, and that's a shame. Of course, he can't be overtaken as the leading scorer, but he was so determined to get another goal and become the highest scorer in Copa America history since the one and only Pelé in 1959. What a shame for him.
It certainly is. And do you know, when he went down after the penalty appeal, he lay on the ground for a long time. It's hard to say half the time you think they're play acting, but he was very ginger when he got up. He was not moving as freely, and obviously the coach, Francisco Maturana, has given him enough time to shake the injury off, and it's unfortunate he's had to retire.
I say he can't be overtaken as leading scorer. I suppose if Borghetti of Mexico manages to get 5 goals, then he can be overtaken. But I wouldn't put my money on it. I wouldn't put yours on it.
Wouldn't put mine on either. It's made it interesting though, hasn't it?
Hasn't it just? What a blow for Colombia. And Aristizábal was the man who hit the post in the opening minutes. There's Alberto Rodriguez. Back it goes to Juan Pablo Rodriguez, onto Torrado. Back into the centre-back, Valdez. Rodriguez again. Find no way around Vargas. Some of the challenges are interesting. The referees let that one go. Gonzalez, brilliant skill. In the end, he lost out to Torrado, and that's not a bad ball for Borghetti. It was one of those situations where the goalkeeper had to be very sure of his position.
He was spot on. Oscar Cordoba, keeper sweeper, came out. He didn't leave himself a lot of room to the 18-yard box. I just thought that whenever Freddy Grisales gets the ball, there's 3, sometimes 4 Mexicans closing him down. He's got great skill and ability, but he's not going to beat 3 or 4 players, is he?
12 minutes to half-time here in Bogota. Final of Copa America. Honduras have finished 3rd, therefore Uruguay officially 4th. But who will win the gold and who will win the silver in the world's oldest international football tournament?
Well, see, the best football's being played by Mexico at the moment. I would think they would have the Lions' possession in terms of going forward. Got some very skillful players on show. A lot of expectancy from Colombia's point of view, but they've lost their top goal scorer, Arif Petaba.
Lopez with the ball over the top to his replacement, in fact, Castillo. Valdez with a long throw, looking for Arellano. Valdez gets it cleared again. Dorado beats on the tackle, Hernandez slips it through. Very good defending. That was brilliant play by Ramon Morales. The clearance by the other Morales. Yepes for Colombia. He was a bit hurried with the clearance and has given it straight back to Mexico. The Mexican coach, Javier Aguirre, came into this competition saying he wasn't really bothered about how many games they won. It was simply a case of bedding in a new youthful team, but they've exceeded the coach's expectations. Aguirre was a great player himself. Used to play up front with the legendary Hugo Sanchez, and those two appeared together in the 1986 World Cup finals held in Mexico. Aguirre only took over in June, so that's some turnaround that he's achieved.
Problem here, Maturana, he's just out remonstrating with the referee, and the referee's warning him about the theatrics, and the fourth official's coming into. Has he ordered him from the touchline?
It seems he has. He's pointing towards the stands.
He's saying, I want you out.
So he becomes the third coach punished in such a manner in these championships, as well as the 22 red cards on the field. As Hernandez strikes the shot, and once again, Perez equal to it.
That's a super shot and a fantastic save. Long throw on the half volley. The angle's tight, but he hits the target with a lot of venom. Super save there, one-handed from Oscar Perez.
Apologies for the quality of some of these pictures, not what they're used to, but the sunshine causing a problem for our Colombian colleagues. No problem for the Colombian players, they've earned another corner.
He's got such a good engine, Brady Grisales. Love to see him getting a bit of space on his right-hand side. That's where he does most of his good work. Oh, what's happening now?
Oh, also the referee's not happy about the other coach either. Oh, meantime, the corner's been swung in. Never mind. Let's get back to the football. Poor effort, and it's one of those matches you feel where the incidents going on off the field could be quite as interesting as the match itself.
I think that's true. I think the first goal is going to become even more crucial.
We've already seen parachutist stop play, a coach dismissed, maybe another coach dismissed, we're not sure whether Aguirre might have got his marching orders. And we've had, what, 1, 2, 3 yellow cards, an injury to the competition's leading scorer, plenty of incident in this eventful first half. Rosales again for Colombia. It's still, however, here in Bogota, goalless, 7 minutes to half-time. Arellano. Oh, what a ball. Outside of the right foot. Lopez winning it back. Vargas under pressure from the opposite number 6. And both of those players have been cautioned so far. Foul on Rosales. He's a bit fussy, the referee, isn't he? He does like the sound of the whistle.
He certainly does. He's got a lot of players on the edge of their seats. It's a lot of spectators as well. Well, he's put up the ball play back. The crowd didn't like that.
Nor did Castillo, who was convinced he was onside. Plays in Argentina, incidentally. And now the players are laying the law down to to the keeper of the laws.
Well, I think he's been told he should have given an advantage.
It's a bit pointless arguing the toss now. It's gone.
Too late, absolutely.
Well, I said before the kick-off, he has a reputation of being one of the most controversial referees in South American football. He's living up to his reputation, Senor Aquino. The president of Colombia is here. Perhaps a red card him before we finish. Now an opportunity for Murillo. Good tackle.
He showed just too much of the ball.
Bedoya's throw down the line, and surely that was a foul, wasn't it, on Castillo? He's convinced, so are the fans. The referee isn't.
Alberto Rodriguez is saying he was pulling my shirt. Murillo was saying he was pulling my shirt. You don't know who to believe. I just feel the tension's actually starting to build up even more. I mean, there was a lot of tension at kickoff, Alan, then 40 minutes gone on. I think there's a lot more tension than early on.
Rizales for Colombia, turned forward by Vargas. Hernandez, clever little player. Bedoya. Oh, almost a good ball. Almost. Great clearance by the keeper. Here's Borghetti for Mexico. Oh, that looked like a block to me. I have to say, I thought Cordoba obstructed him then, but the referee says play on. Where's he going?
He was trying to retain possession for too long.
Ricardo and Morales. Torrado. Arellano letting run embarrassingly over the line. Well, they do know how to party in this part of the world, and one hell of a party is planned if Colombia can go on and win the Copa America for the first time in their history. But they've got a job to do here against Mexico, who've been impressive in this first half.
That's good play from Freddy Rizales there. Put pressure on Octavio Valdez and won the throw-in.
Morales steps across to win it back. Now Grisales for Colombia. Lovely ball again to Murillo. To take the throw if he chooses to. He can get some distance on his throws. This one goes in short. Back again to the left fullback, Bedoya.
He's done well for me. He pushes forward a lot, Bedoya, on this left side, Alan.
Better throw that time. Demonstrate the art of the throw-in again. If he eventually gets the ball back.
Frustration.
Well, surely there's at least one other football somewhere in the stadium.
He's got one wrong.
Well, spectacular! And the goalkeeper made a good catch under pressure from Castillo. Cordoba. Borghetti challenged him. And that caused the hurried clearance. Torrado from Mexico. Rodriguez. Hernandez. Used the ball exceptionally well so far. Number 24. Here's Murillo. By the corner late on. in the first half.
Tell you what, it needed the touch. There was two players bursting into the box, and just on the counter-attack once or twice, Colombia looked like they could stretch this Mexican defence.
Borghetti coming back to help out, defending the set piece. It'll be taken by Hernandez again. The crowd ready to erupt here if Colombia can snatch a goal before half-time. They're not likely to do so from that range.
Well, again, it's Ivan Lopez coming forward looking for, well, it would have been a 40-yard screamer, but not for too many clear-cut chances. I think the best opportunity certainly was Victor Ariztizabal early on in the game.
Roberto Rodriguez. Arellano. Well, there'll be a fair amount of stoppage time, because we had that rather farcical situation where we had almost as many parachutists on the pitch as footballers. 3 minutes I've just seen indicated. That's Gonzalez and Hernandez bring Colombia forward again, but it's been won back by the Mexicans, stopped in their tracks by the referee's whistle again.
The two of them closing down there was Jesus Arellano and Juan Pablo Rodriguez. And the referee deemed it a foul on Giovanni Hernandez. Certainly put pressure on the first touch, don't they?
Lopez. Disappointing ball. Tirado's cleared despite the attentions of Gonzalez. And Valdez with a quick throw. And Morales back to the central defender. Now Tirado. The wrong side of Borghetti. Now Hernandez. And it goes to Carrillo. Castillo trying to line up the shot. He's being forced wide all the time, but he's got a good cross in instead. And Mexico scrambling to get this clear. Vargas with the challenge. And in the end, Mexico get a moment's relief, but it still hasn't been properly cleared. Valdez concedes the throw. Late and mounting pressure by the host nation here in first half stoppage time.
Certainly are finishing with a great surge. They seem to have just lifted themselves in the last 3 or 4 minutes. That throw-in from Freddy Gonzalez. There's another one.
And out of that, they've gained a corner. And this will be just about the last significant action of the half, I would think. Lopez, the central defender, comes forward again. Gonzalez with the kick. I think it was Cordoba who won the header in the end. Or was it Yepes? Doesn't really matter because it was a bit of a tame effort. And the goalkeeper made an easy save. Colombia have it back.
I think he felt the first one was a free kick, but he waited to see if there was an advantage from it.
It's quite juicy out there at times.
Well, this is the one I think was correct. It was a free kick. He looked to see if they were going to get an advantage, and then he blew for the foul on Arellano.
The end of the first half of the Copa America final. The referee has been very much the man in the spotlight, and certainly a couple of his decisions have angered the players, who are still complaining as they prepare to leave the field. The best chance of the half fell to the competition's leading scorer Ariztizabal, who hit the post early on, but the Colombian player has since gone off injured, and at half-time in Bogota, it's 0-0. Welcome back to Bogota. A ticker-tape welcome for the teams as they reappear for the second half of the Copa America final, 0-0 at half-time. I remind you that if it's still 0-0, or indeed if it's still a draw on any description at the end of 90 minutes. We will not have extra time. It goes straight to a penalty shootout, and that's exactly what happened on this ground earlier when Uruguay met Honduras in the 3rd and 4th place playoff. Honduras winning on the penalty shootout. So we know who the bronze medalists are in Copa America. The silver and the gold still has to be inscribed. It'll be a new name on the trophy, remember. Neither of these countries has ever won the competition before. Tense, at times untidy, and very competitive first half. And very few real goal-scoring opportunities. The only genuine one fell Colombia's way, missed by the competition's leading scorer, Aristizábal, who, remember, has since gone off injured to be replaced by number 18, Castillo. That's the only substitution we've had. Now the coach using the half-time interval to make any personnel changes, and of course Aguirre, the coach of Mexico, has got to do his job from the stands now, having been dismissed by the official for persistent abusive language, we understand, halfway through the first half. The referee, Aquino, has also shown 3 yellow cards out on the pitch to Bedoya and Vargas of Colombia and Tirado of Mexico.
I think you can safely say it's still delicately balanced here. I do feel the first goal is going to be very important, particularly if it goes Colombia's way. And this man here, Freddy Gonzalez, is having a great game on the right-hand side as he's having a great tournament. He's got us a great engine, works this line tremendously well, very popular with the fans.
And another throw. Colombia, can I remind you, in the yellow, Mexico in the green. There's Gonzalez again. He has Hernandez in close support. Lopez is still there with him as well. Clever skills. Might have been a foul, but not in the referee's opinion.
I think it's going to have to be a 100% cast iron penalty if he's going to give it. This referee looks as if he's not going to take any nonsense. We've said the first half, Alan, but there's several fouls that I've seen given early on in the competition. He's not giving them tonight. He's not being baited by the crowd. He's very much his own man.
Sloppy clearance by Lopez. He was fortunate to get away with that, the right back. Well, Mexico came here as an unfancied team, really, and only just scraped through the first phase, scoring only 1 goal in their 3 matches, remember. They have done exceptionally well here, facing the host in their own backyard.
Yeah, we had a little chat about that at half-time, and I do feel that the first game, I've seen them play, as I said, 6-7 weeks ago, and they were terrible. And the first game against Brazil must have given the confidence such a boost to win 1-0, and they've gone on from that, and I do feel that confidence plays a huge part in it.
And Mexico go on and spoil the party, and some party will break out here in Bogota and indeed throughout the nation if Colombia become champions in the next hour. Something they've never achieved, remember, in the history of this competition, which has been dominated over the years by Uruguay and Argentina, each with 14 victories. Argentina not even sending a team this time rather. Canada also opting out. But in spite of those absentees, it has been a good competition. Now there by Morales on the substitute Castillo.
Well, he was fouled twice, but the referee tried to give him an advantage. And eventually, he gets the throw in.
Hernandez. And a shot from Castillo just wide.
Well, if they do score a goal, I wonder where it was going to come from with Aristizábal off. And he came very close. Castillo, I think it's just a snapshot. He decides he was going to lay it off at one stage, and then he decides to have a crack at it, and it's only inches past the far post.
He's the only player in Colombia's squad, incidentally, who plays his club football outside the nation. He's with Vélez Sarsfield in Argentina. Head injury, which is why the referee was anxious to stop play instantly.
I've seen a few of these, and it's two of the same. Again, it's actually the number 6, Fabian Vargas, who's head-butted by his own player, Bedoya. Accidentally, I might add, but I'm sure that's woke him up.
So it could have been in the wars anyway, and that's one of those go faster nose bandages. I'm not sure.
I think it's a go faster.
You ever bothered with that in your career, Jerry?
The speed I had, what would I need a bandage like that for?
Quarterback for Colombia. Rosales again got hauled back there. Cynical foul by Valdez.
Technically shirt pulling or shorts pulling is a yellow card offence.
Something that Premiership referees, for instance, have been told to clamp down on in the coming season. Whoops! Was that a little bit of revenge, I wonder, from Freddy Gonzalez?
Tell you what, he's all action, isn't he? Fantastic challenge it is. He certainly gets the block in, and I think he was annoyed by the last challenge, as you said, Alan.
Murillo. Good ball for Hernandez. A great play by him! Oh. And then, when he needed that little touch of composure, he didn't have it.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Fantastic piece of play. When he gets it out from underneath his feet, he sits up. All he's got to do is hit the target. Goes for par, puts it over the top. Oh, what a chance for Giovanni Hernandez.
He has arguably been the most effective player out there up to now.
Well, his passing was absolutely superb in the first half. He barely gave a ball away, which is something I can't say about the defence for Colombia. Certainly, Ivan Lopez pulled on.
Castillo with the shot this time. Looking lively now.
Had a couple of chances early on in the second half, both going Colombia's way. I wonder, are they going to regret or miss the cutting edge that Victor Iztizabal had for them?
Iztizabal, remember, unchallenged as the competition's leading scorer. Colombia will also win the Fair Play trophy because they can't lose it, basically, unless, I suppose, the referee sends about 10 of them off. And with this referee, we shouldn't count our chickens yet. Torrado coming forward for the Mexicans. It's a good ball too. Rodriguez gets a second chance and can't take that either. Now an incident in the middle of the field there involving Arellano, was it? Or Valdez? Whatever it was, it presumably wasn't seen. Here's Arellano, and that's a corner.
Certainly looked off the ball as the ball was played from deep. I think you're right, it was Octavio Valdez, but the referee doesn't seem to be taking any action.
The Mexicans are taking some action. They're bringing on Cesareo Victorino, member of their Olympic Games squad in Sydney last year. And he can play either in midfield or pushed on up front, and he's taking the place of the man who just came to a corner there, Arellano. That corner comes in dangerously. There was a foul as the player, I think it was Gonzalez, was going up to try and win the header.
Just a little nudge as the ball was being played into the box. I think it was from Ramon Morales, but that's an interesting one. Two chances early on. The coach decides from the stand that he's going to make a change, and Jesus Arellano, who had that free roll in the first half, is the player who is substituted. Just going to see if he'll pick out where Victorino is going to play.
Well, I suppose since he is a combination of midfield or striker, he could easily fit into that same role. Mexicans coming forward with a little more purpose now. Rodriguez on the ball for them. He's certainly not been in any way inhibited by the fact that they're playing Colombia on home soil here. They've really gone about this final in an impressive manner, Mexico. Disapproval from the home fans as they knock it back to goalkeeper Perez. And now here's the new man, Victorino. Just crossed the line, Colombia's throw. Bedoya will take it.
Well, it was a handball, but I think he felt that Castillo certainly impeded him.
Torrado, tough little player in the middle of the field. The substitute Victorino. Again, Alberto Rodriguez down that right-hand side. There's Torrado once more. Made it rather too easy for Yepes. Morales. Seems to be plenty of space for Rodriguez on the right flank, and he's using it well. Cross overhit though. He was looking for Bugatti, the big number 9.
It's been a feature tonight. There's been 2 or 3 crosses in the first half for Colombia overhead.
The pitch, like so many in these championships, has been left long, and it surprises me because with the technique that virtually every one of these South American players seems to have, you'd think they'd want it much shorter than this.
Yeah, I thought so, but it looks as if could it be a tactical reason Colombia want it like this?
Mexico have had a good few minutes here at the start of the second half. Victorino for them. Colombia forced to defend. Ramirez not too happy with the referee's decision. Torrado. No way through for Morales, so they have to go back again. The goalkeeper's getting bored. Morales.
Oh, a wee bit scrappy now in the last few minutes, and I think frustration setting in both sets of players. They certainly could do with someone lifting the game, and a goal would do that, I feel, and it changed the whole complexion of this match.
Good layoff from Castillo. Hernandez. On the left-hand side, as ever, Bedoya. Hernandez, always available. Very much a pass and move man. Here he goes, and it's a good ball again. Bedoya's cross wasn't so clever, though. Little nudge there by Ramirez, but the referee saw it, acknowledged it, and lets Mexico play on. Victorino for them. Here's Torrado. Morales tries to go around the outside of Lopez. It was a great touch on, and it was very good defending as well.
He's looked solid. Mercado at the back.
Again, the referee sensibly weighs play on. Hernandez. It's good work on Rio. And is there a way through here? Well, the whistle has gone anyway.
Referee trying to keep it flowing, and again, super piece of play. Just lifted it with the underneath his feet with the instep, over the top, trying to find, that was Maria, trying to find Castillo.
Torrado with the through ball, but it's gone straight to Mario Yepes. Bedoya for Colombia. Helped on by Vargas to the impressive Hernandez. Just slipped and lost his footing, or was that because of the challenge from Torrado?
I think it was the pitch again. I think it was just a bit long. That's good play.
Clearance by Valdez under pressure. Talk about pressure, though. You know, you can just sense this crowd absolutely willing Colombia to win this match, and their nervousness almost is being transmitted to the players.
It is, but they're having a good spell. They're looking a lot more confident now, and they're constructing some good movements, but it's just that final ball. I wonder, can we get something from them?
The Colombian goal really would be like taking the lid off the pressure cooker. It would be a huge relief to everyone inside this stadium, inside this country. They so desperately want to win this. They've been so roundly criticised around the world before this tournament started. They've got a point to prove. Rosales with the corner. And Lopez couldn't react quickly enough. It's 2 against 1 in Colombia's favour. They still took a decent challenge to stop Victorino. Ramirez made it.
He's playing in the hole now, Victorino. That's a good turn of pace, and what a super piece of cover from the sweeper, Ramirez.
Under half an hour remaining. No extra time, should the teams be level at the end of this final. It'll go straight to a penalty decider. Rosales just doesn't stop running, closing people down, tackling.
He's an unbelievable engine. I've watched him right throughout the tournament, up and down the right-hand side for 90 minutes. He's got fantastic engine. He's got to be careful with a few of the challenges, though. If he gets one wrong, he'll get a yellow card.
Lopez for Colombia. Torrado did well to find Victorino. On it goes again to Alberto Rodriguez. Swept handball by Bedoya.
Certainly was. He went to ground. Now this is it again. I don't like to see this. Once again, Alberto Rodriguez is asking for a yellow card. He's gone to ground, Bedoya. It's accidentally hit his arm there, and he's asking for a yellow card.
If it was deliberate, strictly speaking, I suppose you'd say it should have been, but I certainly agree with you about the Mexican players' reaction.
They've got a free kick, and they've got an opportunity maybe to do something, and Ramon Morales got a good left foot.
Didn't really use it though, but the referee's going to give him a second chance.
Yeah, he wasn't happy. He took it before he was ready, which is good fortune for him.
Hoping his delivery is a lot better this time. Oh, it wasn't bad, was it? It was unusual, and it could have paid dividends.
I'll tell you what, he didn't have catch hold of that. Here we go, counter-attack, Colombia, Castillo.
But good defending. Rodriguez, not sure he really wanted the ball back from his goalkeeper there. No foul given. Lopez for Colombia. Little nudge on Valdez. It's gone unpunished. Oh.
A super piece of play there from Valdez, looking for Castillo, making a run at the near post. This is the wicked free kick, and just look and zip off the surface. And if the keeper, Cordoba, makes a mistake, that's in the back of the net.
Trying to get away here. That's good work again by Ramirez. Challenge from behind.
I think they've had a lot of the possession in the second half. They've upped the tempo and starting to ask some questions of the Mexican defence.
Coming up to 25 minutes of the Copa America final remaining. It's still tense here in Bogota. It is still goalless. The crowd willing the ball into the Mexican net. Lopez with the free kick. Put it right in the mix, and goal! They've got the breakthrough! Cordoba came through the crowd of players. His header finds the net, and just look at these wild, ecstatic scenes of joy. Colombia are ahead.
Well, I thought something had to give. They just started piling the pressure on Mexico. It was a fantastic free kick from Ivan Lopez. Super pace on the ball, delivered into the right area, and the captain shows by example, and I do believe it takes a deflection off Jared Borghetti, but he ain't going to worry about that. The captain, Ivan Cordoba, has given Colombia the lead, and it's like there's a sigh of relief all around the stadium.
Ivan Cordoba, who has played in Italy for Inter Milan, with a tremendous header, and despite the attentions of Borghetti, it flicked off the Mexican player's shoulder, and the goalkeeper was stranded, and Colombia are ahead. And remember, they have yet to concede a goal in the tournament.
Well, if we thought they worked hard in the first 3-4 games, Alan, you need to see what they're going to do now. They've got a lead to defend, and everybody will be working, closing down. Pressure on Mexico to respond right away.
The Mexicans have done well so far, but this now a huge test of their character. Morales for that. The shoulder charge and the block by Lopez earns Mexico a free kick. And Mexico now respond to the change in the circumstances here by sending on a striker, Daniel Asorno, 22-year-old, who scored the second goal in the quarter-final against Chile after coming on as a sub as well.
It's good play, we've got to say, from Ramon Morales down that left-hand side, and the substitution's been made. It looks like they're taking Johan Rodriguez off. That's a relief for us. We've got too many Rodriguez on the pitch anyway, Alan.
Well, a free kick brought the Colombian goal. Can Mexico do likewise? Certainly got enough targets. Oh, it was a poor kick by Juan Pablo Rodriguez. It's gone straight back to him. He can try again. Second cross wasn't much better. Well, the excitement now is evident in every inch of this stadium. It is absolutely seething with noise and anticipation here. 3/4 of the way through the Copa America final, and this is the goal that gave the host nation so much joy.
I gotta say, the goal's made for me by the cross, because the pace on the ball, I think, makes it. It's just a superb delivery from Ivan Lopez, and super header, we gotta say as well, from the captain, Ivan Cordoba. And here is Lopez.
Well, that party seems to have started already in the stadium here. I don't think there'll be many people getting into work early tomorrow in Colombia if they go on and win this. I don't think there'll be anybody getting into work.
Well, regardless, it's a little bit of history in the making. And again, I do feel for them, because they've went through so many problems before the competition got underway, and it looked, as you said early on, Alan, it wasn't going to take place, but somehow they put it on. The security's been fantastic, the support's been fantastic, and for their sake, I hope they manage to hang in there, because it'll do them all the world of good.
Yes, you can understand their annoyance. They must have regarded it as an insult when so many countries doubted their ability to stage these championships safely. Argentina didn't bother to send a team. Canada didn't either. Others sent weakened squads. They would have regarded all of that as a blow to their pride. So to go on and stage a successful championship, which it has been, and then to win it themselves really would be a fantastic achievement. And the calmest man in the stadium, it seems, is the Colombian coach, Pacho Macherano, his opposite number, of course, having been dismissed. And there's a yellow card for Morales.
Yeah, well, he was the one who had the little kick at Freddy and then threw a right hand at Freddy Grisales, and just starting to lose their composure a little bit, the Mexicans, in desperation, trying to get back into the game. But even the president of Colombia made an appeal to the rest of the teams and said, you know, please help us in this situation. We need to play these championships here, and it's been a wonderful tournament so far. Let's hope it finishes that way.
Cordoba's goal still separates the sides. Colombia staging these championships for the first time in their history. Will they win the title for the first time in their history? 20 minutes to go. Lopez, whose cross brought the goal, and that's a tester for the goalkeeper.
Oh.
He was lucky.
He was very, very lucky. Had he got contact on it, it might have broke kindly for Murillo. But so far, just luck is holding with the Mexicans. At 1-0, they've still got a chance to get back in this game, and they're making every effort to put pressure on the Colombian defence, which is yet to concede a goal.
And the centre-back Valdez has come forward. The referee wants to get involved in everything, it seems, tonight.
He has to work on his first touch, though, Alan.
Torrado looking for Borghetti, but not finding him. He'll take his time here. Cordoba with the throw. Pretty impressive throw when it came. Bedoya. Hernandez. Ramirez lets it run and gets it back.
The goal's giving them a lift. You can see there's a lot of confidence flowing through these players, and they're keeping possession well, starting to stretch the Mexican defence. And you wonder, as Mexico start to take chances and gamble, pushing players forward, Alan, are they going to leave little bits of gaps at the back, and Colombia on the counter-attack maybe nick a second goal? That's what they've got to be worried of. That's a super piece of play here. He's very determined. Octavio Valdez rides 1, 2, 3 challenges, and then he's fouled. Ramirez.
Morales for Mexico. They trail 1-0. Bit heavy, the layoff. You can't really over-exaggerate what it would be and what it would mean to Colombian football if they were to win this. We all remember the smashing team of the late 80s, Higuita, Valderrama, Rincon, players like that, but they don't seem to have been able to produce in recent years that kind of calibre. They've gone backwards a little, but this might be the springboard for Colombian football to become a power again.
Mexico's going to make another change, Alan. Miguel Tavera on the touchline, ready to come on. Some of the players just dropping their heads a little bit, and I can understand why Aguirre wants to make the substitutions. The last throw of the dice. It looks like another Rodriguez is coming off. It's getting better by the minute. Alberto Rodriguez is being replaced. That's a defender coming off and a forward coming on.
And that's all 3 substitutes used now by Mexico. Colombia still have 2 up their sleeves. Very calm play by the goalkeeper, wasn't it? And the the goal scorer, Cordoba, plays it forward. Hernandez, who will get my nomination for man of the match. A good ball from Murillo. And on it goes to Castillo. Castillo's done brilliantly! Oh, great save!
Oh, he's earned his corn. What a fantastic reflex save. It's more like a toe poke, but look at the power and venom in that shot. Fantastic reflexes from Oscar Perez. And that would have wrapped it up. Not a bad substitution, Castillo, he's proven.
Confirmation of Zepeda's arrival, and one of the Rodriguez, number 2, Alberto, off in his place. As the corner goes backwards. Now Hernandez going in the right direction, playing a 1-2 off his opponent. How clever is that? Murillo. Oh, an ambitious effort, and it wasn't a problem for the goalkeeper, who's produced 1 or 2 excellent saves today, Oscar Perez. The whistle had gone anyway.
Certainly had, fouled on by Fargas, but again, it's Colombia seem to have grown in stature. That goal has given them a lift, and Mexico gambling big time, and there's every chance there would be another goal in this game.
Cepeda, it's gone on to Torrado, and on further still to Morales. Useful cross to the near post. That had a few hearts and a few mouths, I would say, around Colombia. And they're in the nervous 90s now, so to speak, in cricketing parlance. The last quarter of an hour of the final. They're 1-0 up.
Well, the Mexicans are going crazy on the touchline. The substitutes are out of the dugout, trying to encourage the referee to give them decisions, and you can, it just spanks of desperation to me.
Torrado went in high down and got brought down himself by Castillo. He's a tough little customer, though, the number 6. He's got that look about him, hasn't he?
Certainly has. Leading by example, the captain, Torrado. That's a poor ball.
Morales gives it away. Colombia come forward again. Hernandez. He's got players either side of him in support.
Oh! Great piece of play. Pity the cross wasn't better than that, because it deserved better than that. Murillo must have run, what, 80 yards, Alan? On the overlap with Hernandez, and then final ball let him down.
It's a decent cross for Getty's layoff. Just wouldn't sit for Juan Pablo Rodriguez. There's a few people glancing nervously at watches inside this stadium now. Osorno and Morales bringing Mexico forward. That's what you call making sure, really.
Freddy Grisali's back defending, and it's Rosette for him.
The players won't know exactly how long there is to go, but Mexico will realise that they're running short of time here. The paper almost found a way through, and dived in to try and win it back off the brilliant Hernandez.
You won't get any argument from me. He's definitely my man of the match as well, Alan. He's had a super game.
As Castillo goes forward now, the referee might decide that's worthy of a card.
Certainly is.
It's red. It's red, and that might be the final straw for Mexico. Juan Pablo Rodriguez has been sent off with 12 minutes to go, and with his team already 1-0 down, that could be the defining moment of the game.
Well, you have to determine, was it deliberate, or the fact that Castillo, when he cut across inside on his right foot, was it accidental? The referee had no doubt. I do feel he's a little bit unfortunate to get a straight red, Alan, but these circumstances, and that's all 3 Rodriguez's off at the moment. Juan Pablo for a red, and the other 2 were substituted.
And it also cements the position of Mexico as the worst behaved team here. That's their 4th dismissal, and they've had, I think it's 17 cautions as well now, so they won't be winning the fair play trophy. I totally agree with you. I thought that was a very harsh dismissal.
Well, look at it from this angle. He checks, he just drops his shoulder, checks inside. I can't see that as a red card. I really can't.
It was a straight red as well. He hadn't been previously cautioned. Or can Mexico battle back from this situation? As Gonzalez comes in for one of those long-range efforts again. Hernandez. Oh, will do for me.
He's had a great tournament and a great game tonight. He's got to get man of the match. Oh, that's off the ball as well.
The Mexican player, Morales, believes there was a bit of play acting there by Hernandez.
It was Torrado who did it as well. He's already got a yellow card.
Well, that could be interesting.
Let's have a look, see. Off the ball there. Oh, I think he deliberately trips him there, Alan. If the referee thinks the same, he might have another yellow card and another sending off. But did he spot it?
Big decision for the official here.
I think he thinks that was accidental. I'd go the other way. I thought the first one was accidental and that one looked deliberate.
I'm with you on both.
And this is where the last goal came from.
They want to get Hernandez on the ball as often as they can, and I'm not surprised.
Oh, good ball.
Here he is again. Oh, he was mugged. He wasn't tackled, he was mugged by Morales.
I think there was an elbow come in, and the referee's just getting some information. There's the elbow. That's got to be a red card. That is definitely an elbow. He puts his arm up and clatters him straight in the back of the head.
He's got to be off.
Oh, look at that. That's a forearm smash. That's the most deliberate challenge of the game. And I think the linesman saw that.
Well, my God, if he didn't. He almost got
only 2 yards away, wasn't he? Well, let's see what happens here. It was Ramon Morales, the number 3 for Mexico. They've given a free kick. The referee doesn't seem to be doing anything else.
Well,
I'll give up.
That is a joke. An absolute joke. An accidental collision arguably produces a red card. A deliberate elbow in the face produces nothing. If you can explain that to me, well, you're a better man than I am.
Unbelievable. The most important fact, though, is Colombia are still winning 1-0 and there's only about 7 minutes to go, and I think if justice is done, Colombia, for me, deserved to win the tournament.
It's getting a bit unpleasant now. You could well imagine that we haven't seen the last of the incidents in this game yet. 7 minutes to go. And the best behaved team in the Copa America are beating the worst behaved team. And that's not my opinion, that's official. Torrado. Decent ball for Osorno. The layoff takes it to Victorino.
Not the sort of service you want when you're chasing a game and you're 1-0 down and 10 men down. With 6-7 minutes to go.
Are they going to get edgy now, Colombia? Are they going to be looking to keep the ball in safe areas of the field, or will they try and finish off Mexico?
Well, if they get Giovanni Hernandez on the ball, I don't think they'll be sitting back, because he only knows one way, and that's going forward.
Oh, and Castillo gets round the defender. The goalkeeper took a risk and did well.
Certainly did. Very positive goalkeeping from Oscar Perez, and Castillo was favoured there as a super challenge. got to say he's made an impact since he's come on, Castillo.
And they've got a corner, just what they would have wanted at this stage.
Do you think they'll play a short one? Ghazali's going to shoot.
A shade over 5 minutes to go in the final of the Copa America. The hosts, Colombia, 5 minutes away from history. They have never, ever, in the entire history of the oldest tournament in world football, been able to call themselves champions of South America. And they've got players over everywhere here, it seems. Oh, there's Hernandez. Oh, brilliant stuff by Hernandez. Murillo's in there as well, and dances round two defenders. Didn't take the chance to shoot when it came.
Well, I think he took too many touches on the ball. He had an opportunity when he checked inside on his right foot, Murillo, to hit the target, and he didn't, and suddenly it was gone. But what about Hernandez and the cheekiness of him? This is the challenge. I felt he should have hit the shot. Freddy Ghazali's coming over this side. Whip one in with his right foot, possibly.
Mounting excitement in the stadium. Valdez will bring the ball clear for the Mexicans. Borghetti wins the header. And any kind of clearance will be cheered by the nervy Colombian fans at this point. And a bad ball by Mexico will be cheered even louder. Just going back to that incident in the corner, when the linesman came over and said something to the referee, what on earth did he tell him he saw?
Well, I know what we saw, and I thought he'd saw. It was a straight forearm smash into his head. Now, what have we got here? That was the challenge for Castillo early. He jumped for the header. I think he landed awkwardly, and he's put an awful lot of effort into this game. It's not Castillo. He's standing. There's something else happened off the ball that we haven't spotted, Alan.
Well, you know you're in for a lively night when even the ambulance men wear crash hats. There's something like 7,500 police and troops here to ensure security in the stadium, incidentally. A crowd of 45,000 officially, though I suspect a few more have snuck in along the way. There are 3 minutes to go, and we're going to get a very late change here. Molina coming on.
It's Hernandez who was possibly hit again. He's the one that's coming off. I never saw that challenge.
No, I didn't either.
No doubt the referee didn't either.
I bet Hernandez didn't see it coming either. Well, it's all about holding their nerve now for Colombia and not doing anything silly. Molina immediately gets in the way of the free kick. Number 23 has replaced number 23 according to Colombian TV, but that hasn't happened. It was Molina replacing number 24, Hernandez. Valdez. Torrado. It's a good ball too. Oh, in the end, Osorno couldn't control it. 2 minutes to go.
Just look at the engine of this man. He's been unbelievable.
Actually, running. To be fair, you'd say he was right up there with Hernandez as well as a contender for that Man of the Match award.
I think technically, though, Hernandez has entertained so much. Giovanni Hernandez has been superb. But he's got tremendous ability, great engine, has worked tremendously hard. He's only a couple of minutes away from winning the tournament.
Gonzalez has provided the energy and Hernandez the quality, that's for sure.
Why is he not giving him the advantage? Yes, it's crazy.
Why is a pretty good question to pose about a lot of the things he's done tonight. Well, it still gives them a great chance of a clinching second goal. Three men all over the place. Gonzalez making a late run into the penalty box, and it comes into his direction as well.
That was a super ball, and Gerardo Torrado was the one who just got that glancing flick away. Otherwise, Freddy Gonzalez at the back post would have probably have scored.
And Colombia now could be seconds away from being crowned as Copa America champions in their own land. They've got a free kick that'll edge us towards the 90-minute mark, and it all depends then on how much stoppage time the referee adds. Chaos all around the pitch here, cameramen and spectators crowding around, ready to record what could be an historic triumph for Colombia. We're into stoppage time. 3 minutes of it will be played. That's all that separates Colombia from history.
Oh. That was a shot.
And they have still to concede a goal in the tournament. If they keep that record alive now, let the party begin.
It's a good base to work off when you don't concede any goals in the competition.
And they have been the best team as well, haven't they?
I think so. Certainly for me, they've been the best side. Maybe I'm a little bit surprised Mexico have got there. I'd like to see Costa Rica or someone like that being in the final.
Well, that's interesting.
Just a little bit of argy-bargy off the ball here.
But more importantly, it gives the Mexicans the chance to get the ball in the Colombia penalty area now.
Oh, that was retaliation.
Well, I've just given up trying to second-guess the referee tonight. We know. Well, if they've got any fingernails left, they've got to start biting them now, those Colombian fans. Wasn't the best free kick, though. But the danger hasn't passed yet. Morales nicked off him brilliantly by Ramirez. And a chance for them to keep going forward here. Castillo and Murillo. Oh, great play by Castillo. He ignored Murillo on one side and comes to the right, where Gonzalez inevitably is on the ball again and gets a nudge. The linesman probably didn't see that. He was only a yard away.
It was Ramon Morales again. He's actually 3 or 4 times. Look, there's the elbow coming in again. It's unbelievable. The same guy in the same position in front of the linesman, and he still hasn't been sent off.
I think you'd have to get a machine gun out before this linesman regarded it as a bad enough foul for a red card.
I think they're definitely going to play a short one. Keep possession.
Well, perhaps Morales will go for the hat-trick of muggings now in the corner.
The other way. Well, seconds literally, Alan, is all that separates Colombia and winning the trophy. Oh.
It's Morales again. He's completely lost the plot late on here, throwing the ball at an opponent when really it's in Mexico's favour to get it down the other end as quickly as they can.
It's not within 15 or 20 yards of where it should be taken.
Oh, this is ridiculous. He's off. He's off. It's his second yellow card for Torrado. And that's it. It's all over. The referee had to be the man in the spotlight, whatever was going to happen here tonight, and he is. And the celebrations begin in Bogota because Colombia are champions. And the team that has carried the hopes of the nation over 18 days can now celebrate. And the country that were insulted when they tried to take these championships away from them have won the trophy. The Mexicans are furious. The final act of the referee was to send off another of their players. Remarkably, the man who was the biggest villain of the piece, Ramon Morales, stayed on the pitch throughout. The fireworks light up the skies of the capital city, and justice has been done here in South America this summer because the best team in these championships have gone on to win them.
They certainly have, and they haven't conceded a goal. It's a shame it finished the way it finished. The referee, as you said, grabbed the limelight. But for me, there's no doubt that Colombia were the best side. And from the fair play point of view, I definitely didn't want Mexico to win. But justice has been done. And just look at the celebrations and the way the fans and the players have responded.
And it's a clean sweep of the titles for Colombia. The Fair Play Trophy, the top individual goal scorer in Aristizábal, but most importantly of all, the championship. And without conceding a single goal. What a record.
I don't think that sort of a record will ever be broken or beaten, Alan. It's just incredible.
While the excitement is intense here now, and the celebrations ecstatic. And this means much more than a simple football trophy, because as we've been saying all along, they felt insulted. It damaged their pride when people doubted their ability to safely stage these championships. And some countries turned their backs on Colombia. They had proved that they could hold an efficient and successful championships. And not only that, with a huge, huge bonus, they've only gone and won it themselves.
Clean sweep, absolutely. And that was, we caught a little caption of Castillo. Obviously, he's got someone he wants to share the victory with. And there's the coach. Now, he must be a very proud man. Francisco Maturana.
Well, somewhere in the middle of all that chaos, they've got to try and sort out the stage for the presentation of the medals. Officially, Mexico is supposed to go up and receive their silver medals. I've just got a feeling somehow that might not happen. Wonderful, wonderful scenes. And this beleaguered nation that has to cope with so many problems has at long last got something to celebrate. Colombia have only ever appeared in one international cup final in their history, and they lost that, surprisingly, against Canada. It was in the CONCACAF Gold Cup last year, where they were invited guests. But this is the big one.
There's the coach, there's the goal scorer, and smiles all round. It's just superb. Still, we're getting more and more tickets here flying down through the stadium. I think it's a perfect end to the competition.
The fireworks still exploding in the night sky of Bogota, and not a soul is left in this stadium, apart perhaps from the Mexican team. They could already be on the bus home, because they ended the match and the competition feeling very aggrieved, though frankly, although you might argue the wrong players were sent off, some justice was done in that respect as well, Jerry.
I think if you look what you were saying earlier, Alan, you look at the disciplinary side of it, the number of yellow cards, the number of red cards, they had the worst disciplinary record of any team in the competition. And I think they were a little bit fortunate to get there. I thought it was going to work against them even more so, because they had to make a lot of changes in the side. But they played quite well in the first 25 minutes, but once the Colombians put on the pressure in the second half, which they did for the opening 20 minutes, something looked like it was going to give, and Mexico's heads fell when the goal was scored by Ivan Cordoba. And after that, we saw a lot of the cynical side of the Mexicans. For me, Ramon Morales was a disgrace on 2 or 3 occasions and should have been sent off.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen an end to a football match like that. The referee took out a red card and almost in the same action blew the final whistle, and was then surrounded by disgusted Mexican players, but it was a little late to complain at that point. And there it is. That's what it's all been about over the last 18 days since we kicked off in Barranquilla on the Caribbean coast. And now we've ended up in the capital city, and we've ended up with a host nation triumph. absolute chaos out
It's
there.
bedlam. It is absolutely unbelievable. It's bedlam, but you can understand, you know, their joy. This competition wasn't supposed to take place, and for several days it was on, it was off, and you know, they had a lot of adversity to come through, but they've come through and they've won it, and they've won it in style. And I've thoroughly enjoyed watching them perform. Maybe they can take heart from this and they'll go on to bigger and better things, Alan.
Well, there it is, writ large, should anyone be in any doubt. Campeón, Colombia. And somewhere in the midst of this seething mass of people is the official party. Nicolas Leos, president of CONMEBOL, the South American Football Federation. Josep Plata, the president of FIFA. Alvaro Pina, president of the Colombian Football Federation. And maybe even, we're told, the president of Colombia itself, Andres Pastrana, ready to formally hand over the medals. That's probably going to be in about 3 hours' time, judging by the way these celebrations are going on.
I mean, I'm with the players. You know, the joy, the relief of taking part, of winning it. The hopes of the nation were on their shoulders, and they've come up trumps. And they're just milking the applause. They're doing a lap of honour. They're thoroughly enjoying every second of this, and the fans are joining in as well. It's like a big festival. It's like a carnival, and it's worked out in their favour.
Well, I think one of the truest sayings in football is enjoy the good days, because there are plenty of bad ones. And I'm sure they're going to enjoy this long into the night, and probably into the next week of nights.
I also think in football you get out of it what you put into it, and I think they put their whole heart and soul into it. And as you say, clean sweep of all the awards. I think Castillo's getting interviewed there at the moment. He played a big part when he came on as a substitute for Aristizábal, who's finished top goal scorer. And I feel it's been a team effort for me. When you concede no goals at the back and you score goals up front, and you see the right-sided player Freddy Grisales put in so much work, and the man of the match Giovanni Hernandez, the skill and technique that he showed throughout the tournament, and particularly in the game today, I think they deserve it.
And only a handful of teams in the history of this competition have ever gone right through from the first phase to the final without conceding a goal. They have changed the format several times down the years, but that is still some achievement.
Let the party begin.
And Ivan Córdoba is the man who has made himself a permanent place in history. He can tell his grandchildren many years from now, I got the goal that made history. An unlikely source, the central defender. You would have expected the goal-scoring hero to have been Aristizábal, but he'd long left the field by that stage because of injury, but he still remains top of the individual scoring charts with 6 goals ahead of Manchester City's Paulo Wanchope, who did so well for Costa Rica. And a word of praise for them, Costa Rica. They made a big contribution.
I said earlier on, I'd love to see Costa Rica play them in the final. I think it would have been a better final, a more open final with a lot of goals. But all credit to Costa Rica coming in as replacements, and particularly Paulo Wanchope. He had a fantastic tournament and scored the goal of the tournament for me. What a goal he scored. I think he beat the same player 3 times, didn't he?
I don't think it would be right to suggest a shift of power in South America, because Argentina are looking awesome. Brazil have had their problems, but you always know that they're going to get it right. But nonetheless, this will do wonders for Colombia.
Sure will. I mean, it gives a lot of the other smaller nations a lot of hope. I've just watched in the last week or so some football with the Paraguayan youth side. They look an excellent prospect. So there's a lot of good footballers and good football going to be played from the South American sides. But this has been superb for me. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think justice has been done, certainly, with Colombia winning it. But Costa Rica played their part.
65 minutes and 5 seconds. The historic goal scored by Ivan Córdoba. They don't tend to be quite as meticulous with timekeeping in this part of the world, hence the fact that somewhere in that scrum of people we're still waiting for the trophies to be handed over.
I'm still trying to find out where the Mexicans have gone. I mean, have they scurried away, or are they going to come up and receive their silver medals? There's Sepp Blatter.
The grey-haired gentleman smothering others with sloppy kisses there was Alvaro Fina, president of the Colombian Football Federation. And there's a few sloppy kisses headed in the direction of Ivan Cordoba when this one smacked home.
It's a tale of the two Ivans. Ivan Lopez's wonderful free kick, and the captain, Ivan Cordoba, with the help of a little deflection off Borghetti, but he won't worry about that. That's what it's all about, scoring the winning goal in the Copa America.
It surely doesn't come much better than that.
I think we're getting close to the presentation now, Alan. The referees are on the podium receiving their medals.
Well, he certainly played his part in the final, the referee, you'd say that.
That's very diplomatic of you. I think he finished on centre stage as well, didn't he, with that final act?
Certainly did. Still no sign of the Mexicans. I do not believe we're going to see them. Here is the moment, at long last, when Colombia can really convince themselves. And that's Pastrana there, the president of the organising committee, as the trophy is lifted and passed along the line of celebrating Colombian players. That first presentation was to Aristizábal for the individual leading goal scorer. That prize being lifted by the goal scorer today, Ivan Cordoba, was the fair play trophy for the fewest number of cautions and red cards and general behaviour. And then the trophy, the Copa America, lies glinting under the floodlights, about to be handed over and hoisted on high. And the president of the entire nation, will understand, André Pastrana, will make that presentation. He's been away on official duty, a special trip back, saying he was coming back to see his boys win the Copa America, and he was right.
Certainly was. He wouldn't have missed that for the world, and certainly affiliated with him when they were in a Colombian shirt as well. We've got a bandana
in the middle there. I'm sure a familiar face to those of you who follow world football. The FIFA president, Joseph Blatter, just out of the camera shot at the moment. Centre stage there. And each player receiving his medal before the main trophy is handed over. Well, if they get many more people on that stage, I'm not sure it's going to stand the weight.
I think they want everybody on. They've all played their part. You can see the relief on their faces. It's nice to see a country who's pulled together so hard and really come up trumps at the end. And there's the substitute, Molina. Castilla.
Still at fever pitch here. The match finished, what, 20 minutes ago. Mr. Blatter, right-hand side of the picture.
Right-hand side of the president. He's had a great tournament. Freddy Gonzalez.
Yeah, he has too. Joaquin Murillo gets his medal. Hernandez, if I'm not mistaken.
Certainly was.
What a wonderful game he had, and a big moment for the coach.
You know, he's looked so composed throughout this competition. Never looked as if he was going to be ruffled. Had loads of confidence in his side, and they haven't disappointed him, have they?
It's his third spell in charge of the Colombian national side, and he's only been back in control for a couple of months or so. What an achievement, what a way to turn the situation around. Francisco Pacho Macherana. Can he now haul Colombia off the back of this into next summer's World Cup finals? But a difficult task in that respect, but it's still possible. And they'll be using confidence the next game they play. And still the handshakes and the hugs, and now the celebratory songs. Wherever football's played in the world, the scenes are not dissimilar. The language might be different, and the timing of these occasions definitely is different. But the look of joy, unmistakable, and unifying wherever you are.
It's a nice touch at the front. They've actually got a Mexican flag alongside the Colombian flag, which is a nice touch from the Colombian players.
Well, they've got their trophies now, and they've got the one that matters, the one they've never ever won in their entire footballing history. And another cascade of ticker tape falls out of the heavens. It's all yellow and blue.
Well, what a scene. It's just unbelievable.
Finally,
this is what they've waited for.
The president of CONMEBOL, Nicolas Leos, sort of Bernard Manning look-alike there in the middle. At long last, hands over the Copa America silver trophy. So many trophies to pass around amongst them, those players, but it was almost an anticlimax when the big one was finally taken off the table. But it won't be from here on in.
They've won everything, haven't they? Clean sweep, and they're singing Colombia champions. Just think it might have been fitting if a certain Queen record had been played. That's usually played when the champions are receiving a trophy.
Well, it's been the perfect end for Colombia. They've staged the championships efficiently and well. They've won all the trophies that were on offer. Top goal scorer, fair play, and the Copa America title itself. And most importantly of all, they've done it in some style, and they've won them all deservedly. They held their nerve when it came to the final against a very difficult Mexican team, who really fought for every ball and made it a hard job for Colombia to become champions. But now they take the trophies to the people. They carried the message of unified support as one footballers and the country all in it together, and they certainly are now. So fantastic scenes here in Bogota, but I can assure you will carry on long into the night, because Colombia are champions of the Copa America 2001.
Alan, Jerry, thank you very much indeed. Above all, they wanted this to be the Cup of Peace, and they got that. They have made their football history. It's a night when dreams have come true for people across the country, and surely for football fans watching all around the world, nobody would begrudge them any of it for the way they've gone about it all. After the break, we'll give a final salute to the winners.